So the vent hood, you can do it one of two ways. One is where it's vented, where it goes, you know, like out a wall or out the roof or something like that. And the other way is recirculating. We don't have an option to go through the wall because of the placement. And if we were to go out the ceiling, there would be a vent right in the front of the house that would be visible from the street. And they didn't want that. So we're going to do the circulating. The hood that we have comes with this piece right here that goes from the rectangular vent to an 8-inch round. And then from there, we have to, the way that they suggest you do it is you have a vent that comes up and then comes out the front. I don't know why they suggest that. I don't want a big vent visible from our cabinetry. And so the way that we're going to do it is we're actually going to divert it out the sides. And we're kind of, in order to have space, because the ceilings are not that high, we don't want to go any taller than 28 inches here. So I'm fashioning this little piece here that will divert the airflow two different directions without losing too much airflow. Because if you go from 8-inch down to just a single 4-inch, which is what this is right here, you're going to have a really loud blower. There's going to be lots of wind noise. And so what we're doing is we're actually going to divert it. Here it goes down to 6-inch, and then we'll have two 4-inch going out either side up at the top of the hood cover. And it'll be kind of back in the back, and then we're going to tile around it so it will hopefully barely be noticeable in a very inconspicuous place. In order to get this to work, though, I'm having to fashion some vent work that's, you know, not pretty, but it'll work really well.
So today we are tiling this range hood. We've never done it before, and there's not a lot of tutorials out there on how to do it. And I think that there's probably a variety of ways to do it. The thing that we're struggling with the most, or not struggling with, but trying to troubleshoot, is we really want the tile to be continuous in placement from the wall to the range hood, which means a tile, you know, will be lined up right here. But what do we do about the end? And yeah, there's just some things to figure out. Tiling is so easy. I don't like back buttering. I really prefer, I think it's so much cleaner to put the mortar on your surface. These lines that you put in it from your trowel, that's what makes it stick. It creates like a suction. But because so many of these pieces are cut or have to be cut specifically for this project, I find myself back buttering a lot of them, which is a time suck. Anyway, so I back butter the back. As you can see, this one's mitered on the corner because this is going to be for the corner of the range hood. And add some spacers under here. We're using 1/8 inch spacers.
Tiling the range hood, one of the sides of the range hood that's connected up into the joists above started sagging, which means there's a problem with the joists upstairs, or not upstairs, but in the attic. So that's where I'm going right now. I've cut some boards to make myself a bridge over there. There's about this much space. So we're gonna make a bridge so I'm not just sprawled out. And then I went up there once already without a mask. That was a bad idea. Now we've got a mask. That was horrific. But we got it done. What is this? So after you finish putting up the tile, you want to wait at least 8 hours, really depending on your mortar and the dry time of that. For this stuff, at least 8 hours. I like to give it 12 to 24. It's Friday, a weekend. Monday's Memorial Day. They have family coming in, so we're not going to get to this until Tuesday, so it'll be plenty dry by that time.
We are going to grout the range hood today. We got our float, we got our grout. This is just white grout. There is a whiter white than this actually, called Avalanche. This is more of like a warm white. Okay, so grouting is the game changer of all game changers. And especially if you're going for more of like a tonal, softer look. Like right now, all of these lines in between the tile are empty, and so it's creating a lot of dark shadows. But once we apply, make sure you cover your surface underneath you, because that's gonna happen. So I kind of like push it in all the lines like this, and then I just wipe it off at a 45-degree angle a few times. And then after 5 minutes, we will wipe off all the grout with a damp sponge, not wet. Really like dip it in, squeeze it out. And so you kind of just go through all the lines, and it just makes an incredible immediate difference. It's one of the reasons why grouting is my favorite thing. If you are a beginner grouter, wait, that sounded weird. If you're a beginner grouter, I would suggest getting some grout on your float. This is a float. It's just a smooth rubber applicator for grout. And just pushing and making little X's with the grout. And that will kind of get it in the crack and wipe it off. Get it in the crack, wipe it off. Last step. This is muriatic acid. It's called Acid Magic. Can't be good for you because you have to wear gloves. But it's amazing how it cleans haze off of grout. This grout looks, I mean, these tiles don't look as bad, but you can, I don't know if you can tell, the backsplash we used this on, and it just was night and day difference. So we're just gonna spray it and scrub it, and then you rinse it off. So it's a mix, and it's amazing that as soon as you spray it and start scrubbing, you can feel the tension from the tiles kind of release, and you just know the haze is gone. That'll do it. Tiling is officially done. Range hood is officially done.